Hey crafters, it's me Jen Evers with Quality Crafts and welcome to Sunday Funday. So this previously used to be free play Friday. We've transitioned it into the Sundays because it just makes it a lot easier for me, and you can rewatch them anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter what day of the week that we're on. But Sundays I always found I had a lot more time, so I hope that you'll start joining me for Funday Sundays. It's going to be an hour of the same thing we did on Free Play Fridays, and today what we're going to do is we're going to be working with a die that is the Tree Line die by Tim Holtz and Sizzix. Hi Marlene! So here's the die itself. It's got lots of holes, although I think you're going to find you probably won't need any of those holes. It comes out of here so well. Hi Suzette, hi Debbie. So it makes the tree line that you're seeing in the cards here, and I'm going to hold those up so you can see them a little bit better. This one I did is more of kind of a fallish, kind of a just a backgroundy kind of thing. Doubling it up and making it shiny and shimmery for Christmas. I thought that was really cool. Here's another fall one with a night sky behind it. Also another way to use your sprays, you know, if you're not using them directly spraying on. And then this one as well with the Northern Lights. Now, next time I do a video, I'm going to show you how to do these Northern Lights, but I'm not focusing on that today. Here are some of the inks that I've used in like the green cards and the orange. This was spray. I've got crushed olive, and they're all distress inks. Peeled paint, forest moss, pine needles, fired brick, and spiced marmalade. So pause and take those down if that's something that you like to do and you want to know what colors I used. And then I'm using one of the big brushes to lay down some of the color if I'm not spraying. I've got a couple of different sprays. I'm using all Dylusions Shimmer Spray. I have Periwinkle Blue, Cut Grass, Cherry Pie, and Lemon Zest. So I pretty much have the three main colors. And if you are ever, you know, like, what do I get and how many do I get and how do I start? Start out with the three primary colors, okay? Red, blue, and yellow. That way you can make a plethora of rainbow colors by spraying over and mixing the two, if that makes sense. And then always a white one is nice to have. Picket fence sells out really fast. We're trying to get more picket fence white stuff in. But I have this one right now, spray stain, so I'm going to use that for like the background stars that you see in this one. But you can also use just regular ink it up. I'll show you a couple of different ways that we can do that. There's going to be a lot of different kind of tips and tricks and all kinds of things in this video. Not just here's how you die cut it and here's how you put it on a card. It's just going to be kind of the process and things that I've used to create these different looks. So I'm going to scoot these off to the side here. Stack up my inks, and I'd love to give you guys a chance to vote on which one of the cards you really love the most. I'm not going to include this one because this one, as I said, I will teach you how to do that in the next video. But do you like the fall with the black dark skyline? Do you like the Christmas one? Or do you like this like sunrise, sunset background? So I'm going to give you guys a chance to vote here. Pick the one that is your favorite, and that's the one I will recreate for you first. And then we'll recreate more as time goes on, as time allows. And I'm just going to kind of, while I'm waiting for you guys to vote, because I know that's going to take a second here, I'm just going to move some of this stuff out of my way. And we're definitely going to need cuts of this, and most of them are different colors or have been sprayed. So I'm going to go ahead and cut a few of these out in white. I wonder if I can get, I'm going to try to get my cutter in here so you can see how I use it. Yeah, here we go. I won't keep this here the whole time. But here's where it comes in, and then here's where it comes out, and I have mine on the Lazy Susan so that I don't have to try to get around anything to get to the back of my machine. So I think I have room on this one. Yeah. And then I usually take my purple tape and stick that down. So I'm seeing a lot of votes for this one. So we'll start with this one first. Now, if you want to save time and you don't like inking, go ahead and pull yourself out a piece of green paper and die cut this on your green paper, and then you don't have to add anything else. But I'll show you how I got like the shadow looking kind of parts. I'll teach you 2 ways to do the moon, and we'll have fun with that. So none of this stuck to the die itself. I'll go ahead and just take that off of here. But you will have to take this off of the paper here and peel out some of the inside pieces. The thinner the paper gets, and I'm going to show you with the black paper, the less amount of this kind of thing that you'll have to do. So if you want to do one that has that underlaying and looks like there's 2 different ones, when you do that, save this piece. This is the piece that goes in your background. So I will go ahead and chop the top of this off just at the point of that one circle that I cut out of this. And I'm going to save this in case you guys want to see one done with that. And then I want to show you the difference. So I'm going to have to take time to pick those out. But I want to show you the difference in me using the black paper. The black paper that I have is thin. It's really thin. And so I'm going to go ahead and should be able to do this without maybe putting on the tape. Let's try it out. See if I can get it without the tape. Last time I did it, it fell right out. But check that out. There's very few that you have to peel out. It almost just comes out completely done. The first time I did it, I didn't have to peel out anything. But you can already tell there's like maybe 1 or 2 teeny tiny pieces that I had to pop out, and this one's ready to go already. So I think that I'm going to go ahead and save the top of this one too, just in case I want to do one later. So I will save that. And we're probably going to want one more white one to play around with. So let me just go ahead and cut another one of those right now. Cut side up. Cut side up is where I get stuck sometimes. Exactly why my magnet looks so funny, because I forget to cut side up. I'm going to move that over. You can always cut more, but let's start with the ones that we have. This is a 120-pound cardstock, so even though this is a really delicate die, it's pretty easy to just go through and cut around and then just lift that off. We'll save that one too. But like I said, I'm going to have to take these two, maybe take my rolly brush, I guess, and clean that out. So I have this one. really feel like there's going to be somebody who's going to come up with an idea that's going to make this even better, even quicker. But for right now, we just peel them out. And then my pokey tool on the really tiny ones. So I would suggest that if this kind of stuff overwhelms you, just do this kind of thing on one day. Cut out all these and get rid of all your little flaky pieces on like one day, and then put cards together another day. But I also want to do it in real time so that you realize that you don't have to wait all that. And you know, my picker-upper has disappeared. I might have to actually just go and get my Miracle Roller, another one, out from my store, because I don't know what happened to my purple-handed Miracle Roller that's going to pick all this stuff up for me. I don't know where it went. Let's have a couple more pieces. It goes pretty fast. Some people like to put this on like a mouse pad or something. Do whatever works for you. This is plenty fast for me. So those we're going to save. I'm going to keep this one out in case we do the green one. Alright, so since I don't have my purple picker-upper, what's my next best bet is my scraper. I have a silicone mat here. So everything sticks to it. That way my stuff doesn't roll around on me, blow away on me, that kind of thing. You probably have a mat that's like the glass mat underneath, so you don't have to worry about that sort of stuff. Alright. Hey, Sandy. Hi, Beth. Debbie, Monica, nice to see you guys. Very, very small viewing today. That's okay. We're going to make this work anyway. Now, one thing that I didn't do ahead of time on this one, which is the one we're doing, we can, who was it that said they really wanted to see this in, you can do this background and do the trees black if you want. That's totally fine. But the first time I did this, I did it and then I went, oh, I want a moon. And so I ended up with that really cool, just interesting looking moon, and I love the way that turned out. So I'm going to tell you how I did that. But if you want your moon to look really pristine and you want it to be really white, go ahead and cut yourself a circle about the size that you think you're going to want it. You may even want to like overlay. I'm going to take this purple off because I can see it from the back. Cut down all my nails and now I'm struggling. Okay. If you want your moon to end up in the trees, go ahead and just pop your trees down about where you think you might put them, and then drop your moon down. Figure out where you want that, and then I'm going to just go ahead and put a piece of ATG right here. Just a little piece. And then I'm going to put my finger oils and dirt on there and then flip it around because I want it to be able to come off relatively easy. And then I'm going to go ahead and I need another piece of paper here so I don't have to keep wiping up my mess. I'm going to go ahead and lay down those background colors. I ended up using the first time a golden yellow from the other one. So let me pull that one down. This came from my Pink Fresh collection. It's marigold, and then I mixed that in with the spiced marmalade, and then I ended up with the fired brick. It actually tones down some after it dries, so if you want it really, really vivid, go heavy on the ink. I think I'll just stick with the same idea, but if you want to go ahead and use like a blue and a purple, you know what, let's do that. Let's do this one with blue and purple, and we'll do the black background. So this one's going to be, I just think this will be totally fun. And I have these colors out because I'm working on something else. So just Seedless Preserves and Blueprint Sketch. Let's just go ahead with these for now. And I need my scrap paper. And that is getting too warm. All right. So my big brush, this is the one I'm going to use. I'm going to start off with the purple. Let me see, how do I want to do this? Do I want my blue or my purple on the bottom? I think I'm going to go purple on the bottom, blue on the top. You can go as dark or as light as you want. Does not matter. We're going to try to blend these in. So I'm going straight into the blue without even wiping it off. Oop, now I want to stop because my tape came undone. Just going to try to make a little bit more of a blend there. Don't go crazy, don't make yourself nuts over the blend, but there you go, you have a nice, other than the little shadow I just created, you have a nice clear moon. So think about how you want this to land on your card base. Do you want this to go all the way to the edge? Do you want there to be a little white edge? If you want a little white edge, then go ahead and cut off 1/4 of an inch from each side. 2 sides, the long side and the short side. So it should end up to be 4 by 5 1/4. I want mine to have a white edge, so I went ahead and did that. That way when I put it on there, to see, we have the white edge. So you might want to think about that. And getting this ready for the next time, I'm just going to go ahead and rub this on a piece of paper until it's relatively clean. I've used mine for so long that I could go on the edges like this and just rub dirt on it, dirt off of it, till the cows come home. But the point is, you just want to clean off the top parts. The top. And when it comes out relatively clean, I just pop it back in here and know that it's ready for the next time. If you're worried about going with a light color, go ahead and rub that lightly on a baby wipe and let it dry in between. That will help. All right, so those were 2 Distress Oxide ones that I used. These are Oxide Blueprint Sketch and Seedless Preserve. That side I got marked up already, so I'm going to use this side. Okay, so this is going to go down. I'm going to get my ATG to tape that down. So if you're working with heavy ink like this and you get your fingers in it, you're going to mark up your white spot, so be careful with that. Maybe have a baby wipe off to the side. So I'm going to show you what it's going to look like if we did white. Okay, and then I'll show you what it'll look like in black. Oh, the black looks really cool, doesn't it? Look at that. We might want some little stars in there. And I don't want my stars showing up on my black trees. So I'm going to remove the trees, get some of my spray stain ready to go. Pop this into my spray box. And I really like this way that someone showed me how to do it. Trying to pick a decent brush. I had one out. Let me see if I still have that one out. Nope. You can also use the splatter brush, so I think I'll go with that. So I'll use this. I'm going to put some of my white spray on this block. Not by spraying it, but just by tapping some of it onto the corner here. And use my splatter brush for this. So I'm going to dip my splatter brush in. Since this is wet spray, then all I have to do is just pull back and let it go on there. If you want bigger sprays, you can do it, but this just gives you a really nice light tiny star look, which is what I really want. I'm just cleaning off my brush now. I have my rinse well out, otherwise you can go to the kitchen sink and just wipe them off because they're just plastic. Okay. I'm going to wipe that off of there. We can use it later if we need it again. So there we've got some light sprayed stars. Looks pretty cool. And I'm going to show you how the sticky specks work. I got all my stuff all over the place today. And I'm going to use this one. Alright, I'm going to use this side. And I'm going to put my black tree line down. And what I'm doing is I'm burnishing it into the sticky specks so they get on the little pieces. And then pick it up from the bottom. If you've got delicate stuff like that, pick it up from the largest part. Now, I want to show you the back here. This is not going to give you 100% coverage. Do you see that? So if you're worried about it and you want to put a little bit of glue on the back, you can go ahead and do that. But I've been using these and I've not had a problem. So I'm going to go ahead and put mine right on here. I'm lining it up with the bottom of that purple. And then I'm just going to push them all down. That way, all my stars are in the background. My moon shows from behind. Gorgeous. So pretty. Okay. The splatter brush makes it just that much more effective and easy to do. Let's say that we forgot to make the moon. And do I have an extra one cut? I might have to cut some more paper. Here we go. Let's say I forgot to do the moon. And I have a background already. So let's say I have a dark blueprint sketch. I'm just going to go ahead and show you how I did this. Imagine this is our card. It's already done. We have our trees on there. It's all lined up and we go, oh crap, I wanted that moon. I'm going to clean this off because I'll forget. I wanted that moon and I forgot. So first things first, you can go ahead and just cut a circle and glue the circle on. Bam, there's your moon. Okay? But if you already put your trees down, you don't want to put that on top of the tree and cover up the tree because that's going to look funny. Right? It's not, the moon doesn't want to be in the middle or covering up the front of the trees. So what I did was I took this and cut it into a piece of paper. And I'll show you what I used. I used this one, but any hole, whatever size hole circle you want, go ahead and do that. I used heavy cardstock, so I'm looking for my heavy stuff. I'm going to have to cut one more sheet here. Okay. Cut this one out. It's going to be a little bit hard to cut because I have 120-pound cardstock. But we make do with what we have. What I want now is I want this piece of paper. We're going to figure out where do we want that moon. We want it about right there. I'm going to get out my water brush. Okay. Put some water out there. and then brush it around on top of that. Okay, we all know that it'll pick up. Let me get a towel here. We all know that it's going to pick up color and make it a little bit whiter, right? So you can be as careful with this as you want. You can try to stay within that circle, or you can go straight in with your brush. Just add a ton of water and let it sit. I tried a little bit of everything. Mine creeped out from underneath, as you saw. And so the more wet you put and the more you pick up, you're going to get that cool looking moon. Okay, so here's one that I did on the blue. That's how I did the one on here, only I wasn't as careful, so I got a little bit more interesting marks around my moon, and I think it looks really cool. So that's another way that you can make that moon if you want it to be more natural looking and not quite so harsh. So here's the difference between the two moons. Okay. So yeah, so that is that one. Let's say we want to do one that's kind of like this, and we want to add a little shimmer and shine to ours. This one has a black background. And I could have swore I cut 2 card bases. So let me just double check here. I don't know what I did with that one, so let me move this out. We'll go ahead and create a card base here. There it is. Found it. So this time we're going to use a black background instead of a white one. So here's our black background. Again, do you want there to be a white around it, or do you want black to go to the edge? It's completely up to you. Maybe we'll have black go completely to the edge on this one. So this one is much easier as far as the background is concerned, because all you have to do is just spray your dots on. But I also saw another YouTuber use the idea of, instead of the white, the stark white, they use some of the metallic sprays to do that. So I'm going to try to do these stars with white linen shimmer spray. So this will have shimmer in it, obviously, and the white. I think, do I have one in silver? Ooh, let's try brushed pewter. That's going to give a different look too. Brushed pewter. This one's never been used, so I'm going to have to cut open the top here. So I like to shake back and forth, get that mica off the bottom of the thing, but don't shake it up and down. Don't get crazy, because it's going to get lodged in there and it won't spray anymore, and then you'll be mad. So if you don't have a splatter brush, or you want bigger droplets, get yourself a place to spray and use the end of your sprayer. We could spray this on, but I think I'm going to want to do this. Tap it. Tap it so it drops droplets on your paper. Redip if you want more. Closer. So don't ever throw out any of your sprays, even if it's just that it won't spray anymore and you don't want to buy any more. You don't want to buy the top for them, which are really cheap. You can get 2 of these spray tops for $2.99 to replace that. I'm going to go ahead and do a couple of white sprays too, because I'm not super happy with just the silver. Oh, cool, cool. So my white ones turned out bigger, which is awesome. So now I've got some of those background silver ones, and I've got some of the larger white ones. I'm satisfied with that, so I'm going to stop with the background. Cool, cool. And I'm going to have to wait a little bit for those to dry, or I'm going to have to dab them. I'll dab them. If you don't find another dry spot each time you dab, you run the risk of making double marks, and if you don't like the look of that, make sure you find another clean spot before you dab again, or you'll be disappointed. Okay. So that looks pretty cool. Okay, you can hear my cat. He's expecting to be fed. So when we're done with this, I will feed him. No moons on this one. This is just a dark black background sky. And we can go straight onto this one with white if we want. Okay, you could even do shimmery white on here so that it, you know, shimmers and looks really cool, and it's not matte. Got one little thing that I missed here. Mix and match, use what you have. We're going to go for this look, so I'm going to go ahead and spray it in like an orange. You can do whatever colors you want. Reason why it looks orange is because I used the red and the blue, or the red and the yellow. I don't know if I don't know if these still spray or not, so let's give them a shot. Oh, my yellow one's working pretty well. So let's go ahead and cover that in yellow. Again, this is going to make it totally shiny. I don't know if my red one is going to spray either. Nope. My red one is completely blocked. I'm going to make sure that I clean off my yellow so that it works next time. So now we've got a yellow. Let's keep the yellow, and I'll show you how I finished that up. So some of these other ones that wouldn't spray for me, I just went ahead and shook them up and then did the same thing as I did on that other one. So when I created the polka dots on there, so you can see that, that's how I got that look. So we're going to have a yellow background instead. We'll add some green dots. And I'm just shaking it. You can tap it, whatever you want. I want some kind of bigger drops. That one is too big, so I'm going to stop it. So we'll add some of the red. Now, if you want some smaller ones, give it a good smack like this. And then a lot more ink will come off and it'll be a lot tinier. Oh, I think that would look really pretty with blue too. Where did I put the blue one? There it is. Let's do some blue. It's up to you. It's whatever you like. So don't get too hyper about whether or not other people are going to like it. I think this looks really cute. Maybe blue isn't in the fall spectrum, but I love it. So take your license, your artist license there, and make it the way you like it. Look how pretty that is. That could even be like Christmas lights, right? So if we pop that on there, ooh, that's really cool. So everything is really shiny. So pretty. I think what I want to do with this one is I'm going to grunge up the sides here to bring in a little bit of that white in from the edges. This is super thin paper, so it's gonna have a lot of give. And if I rip it or tear it, I think that's going to be just fine because it'll show more of the white background. This also is messy, so do it over a garbage can if you can. I will get another roller out and roll all that stuff will come right up for me. Now I have a little bit of white showing on the edges. So I'm going to pop this down. I might even want to roll some of these. Just for a little bit more depth. That looks really cool. And then snuggle my trees down in here. Now I don't have to go all the way across. I might leave some of that. Let's see, do I want another one? I want to make this all the way to the edge. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll make this go to the edge. Okay, so I'm going to use my sticky specs again. Put some of mine together here. Dig out my sticky specs. Too many tools out. That's what happens, and then you get confused onto what you want to do next. Put a couple things away. Okay. So this is the one we're doing now. This one feels very used. This side not so much. So let's see if I can get that in this side right here. When you're first using your sticky specs and you haven't used it over and over like I have, the very first time you use it, do not burnish it as hard as I burnished it. You might not be able to get it off, especially if it's little like this one. If it's delicate, don't do it. I had a little bit of a learning curve getting into these, so don't feel bad if you do too. Go ahead and put these right to the edge. And I did pop some of these up, although popping them up, you're going to need some really thin, like foam strips, which we are going to get in for the store as soon as we can get some. But it takes time. It's a little tedious, but it can be done. So now I've got one kind of a holiday bunch of trees coming in the corner there. That looks really cute. Hey Donna, welcome. Do we have time? I think we do. Let's just pop out some of these ones that we've seen. We've made a couple of these together. Some have sentiments. You can do sentiments if you want. Let me cut one more base because I would like to do one that looks like this. Do you see how there's like a lighter indent in the back there? It's because I used the top, the negative part, and the positive part of the die. And we already saved a couple. So let's see. Let's use this one and this one. So these would go together. Okay, and all we're going to do is just offset them. But in order to do that, we need some color. So let's move some of these. Okay, and it looks like this one I did green, and I actually cut it down a little bit, but we can worry about that later. And then the other one I sprayed blue. So let's go ahead and do this one blue. That's the bottom part. Let's see if my blue is going to work for me today. And again, these are shimmer sprays. So I'm going to go over this. And if you don't want it all really blue, you can leave some white hanging through. It looks really cool either way. And I had some leakage on my blue, so if you don't like to get dirty, then make sure that you wear gloves, because I just got a blue thumb. I don't care. After a couple hand washes and some sanitizer, it all just comes off anyway. So, let me lift this out of here. Don't touch this until it dries, because I made that mistake, and if you look closely at this one, you can see right where my finger touched. Whoops. See there where my finger touched there? So make sure that you use a little bit of heat or something to dry that off before you touch it. And I mean just a little bit. This should work. That blue is gorgeous. It is Periwinkle blue. I hope you guys are enjoying this. This is like, I just totally couldn't wait to share this with you. So pretty, and so many different things you can do with it. Alright, it doesn't take too long. Looks to me like when I touched it, it stayed. So I think we're good to go. So we've got the blue, but now we need the top part green. So that's this one. Now, I had done mine green before I cut it, and I don't want to run like this. I don't want to run my brush or any of that over the top of this and get it snagged and wreck these. So I'm going to try to do a spray on this, and I'm going to use a green, but not shimmer. I don't want the whole thing to shimmer, because I think that would just kind of take away the attraction of it. So I have some Distress Oxide sprayed in Mowed Lawn. Let's see if this is going to be dark enough. Not quite. Let me pick another one. Don't forget to wipe this off. Wipe them off before you put them away. This one is pine needles. Let's add a little pine needles to this one. So what we're working with today is a die. And this is the negative, right? This would be the negative space of the die, I think. Oh, my whole plastic part's coming off. Let's take that off. There we go. That is a little bit darker. Although, if you want something really dark, use the Distress spray stains, which are more like the that'll work. Okay. They're more like the Distress inks when you're comparing Distress to Oxide. Oxide is always going to look a little bit lighter. It's not going to be as vivid. But do you see the variation in the green we have there? That's one thing I really love about that. Alright, do I still have a card, or do I need to make one? Oh, I've got one here. I think we can work this out. Okay, so this one is going on the top like this, but we need something underneath it. So to make that look like a transition, do you see that? The lighter green, we need a lighter green underneath. The dog is scratching me. He wants to get on my lap. Not yet, buddy. Pretty soon. Pretty soon. Do you want to say hello? Okay. Say hello, and then I'll put him back down. Hello, everybody. Hello. Hi, buddies. There he is. There's a little Dakota man. He's in his little blue sweater, staying warm. Okay. Down you go, buddy. Okay, I'll sit with you in a little bit. Okay, so what I said is we need a little bit of a light green on the bottom. So let's go ahead and use down, bud. Down. Oh, we could do bundled sage even, or we could do olive. As long as it's a contrasting, I'm gonna go with peeled paint because it looks like old olive, and I love that green. So that'll be the top. I think this will work out just fine. Since I think we're going through for the whole card look, yeah, I can go ahead and just do the whole bottom of this all green, the whole panel. Let's just go for it. If we don't like it, it's only paper. We can make another one. Let me get my scratch paper here. Did I throw that one out? Oh, where's my scratch paper? There we go. It's up to you how perfect you want to be with this, but since we're only going to see like parts of it, I'm not going to be too perfect about it. Yeah, see? That's a nice contrast, isn't it? And then that blue is going to come in. Okay. So again, let's go ahead. Let's clean that green off. Pop that back in. Whew, move some of my sprays out of the way. We ended up going in a different direction than that, and I need sticky specks so I can get that nailed down. So sticky specks again. This side still feels like it's got a lot of stick. Let's go this direction. Okay. Hopefully I have the top of the paper. I think I do. Might not stick super well because I just inked that part. You might want to let that dry, but I'm just going to go for it because we have a little time left and I want to make sure I finish this one. And our blue piece hanging out over here. Look how pretty that is. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we want to put this on here, but we want to put it like sideways. This is the reason why I did mine, because you notice that this, it fits across there, but as soon as you toggle it over to make it look like another one, you're gonna lose part of the edge. So maybe instead of doing that, I'll just lower mine a little bit. And I think that'll still work. You're still gonna see that light green. Yeah, and that will work. Okay, so I'm gonna sticky speck this one too. And I showed some in the beginning that if you don't get full coverage of this, you can flip it over and look at it. And if you're not happy with it, you can put it back down in another space, grab a new sheet, or down. Or, so move it on here, or get a new sheet, or add wet glue to the back. I lost my train of thought because Coda was coming up. So I'm going to look at the back here. should be able to tell where it shines, where you got most of your tape, and it looks like I am running out of stickies on this side quite a bit because I have used this like crazy. So I'm going to just ditch that piece because you get 5 sheets of this stuff, you guys. So worth it. And I'm just going to dig out another piece from my pack. And if you don't even use these as much as I do, they will last you forever. I use mine quite a bit. And all I do is I just cut it in half so I don't have such a big piece to lug around. And I'm going to... Maybe this will show you why you don't want to burnish so much when it's brand new. This is a brand new sheet. Never been used before. I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. I might not be able to pull this off. Don't burnish it too hard when it's on brand new sticky. Oh yeah. There really is sticky on there. So this, oh, now when I look, almost 100% covered. So I'm going to slap this down. And I'm just going to move it down a little bit, not toggling it very much, just because we got here. Wow, look at that. If you're not satisfied, let's see if I pick up on this one. Is this one sticking now? Now it's sticking. If it's not sticking, you're not satisfied, lift it up, put a little wet glue underneath there. There we have it. Okay, now, I didn't plan out this card very well, and I'm thinking a little white on the bottom would be really cool. I'm just going to go ahead and take one of my card base fronts that I have here. I'm going to cut off a piece about as thick as I think I need it, run it to the bottom, and see how much that covers it up. That's a little bit too thick. I'm going to take about 1/4 of an inch off of there and try it again. Might have to use my other cutter. I want to get a little bit more. Should be able to get a better cut on this one. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if that does it. That'll work perfect. Okay. And that's where I'm going to put my sentiment as well. I did a Merry Christmas on the last one. I don't see any reason why we couldn't do that again. That'll help me get ahead. Gotta find my Merry Christmas. I keep this little box of sentiments that I like really handy on my desk so I don't have to dig for these. And these are the ones that I use the most. Some of them don't have backs and I just don't even care about that. I just pop them in here. This one has the Merry Christmas on it. So I'm going to pull that out. And just to make it easier, oh, I used a different blue on that one, didn't I? Okay. I'm going to use my platform for this. This is already sticky, so I'm going to put that on there so that it stays. Try to center this with my eyeballs as much as I can. Okay. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and do this in black. So I need my Versamark ink. Black embossing powder, which I keep in little tubs like this marked on the side so I can find the one I need. Let's go ahead and ink that up. Pop it down. Hopefully I got that. I should have used my buddy now. I'm probably going to have this all over the place, but we're going to run with it. Anyways. Oh, and another fun thing would have been is to take the tree part, get it sticky, and foil those trees. That would be amazing. Yep, I've got a bunch of black stuck there, but like I said, let's just roll with it. Nobody will notice. I'm going to pull that off of here so I don't forget to put it back. Okay. All right, we need to heat set that. I love the Sizzix heat gun. It heats up super fast. going to turn it around so I don't burn myself. Now, if you've got a color that you want to go around the edge of this with so it's not all white, that would be really pretty. But I love the stark whiteness of that on the top of those trees. So I'm going to go ahead and put that down. This time I'm not going to use the sticky specks. I'm just going to go ahead and ATG this down. You could even bump it up with a little bit of foam. I think that would look really cool. And I just ran out of tape. Of course. But I got enough tape on there that it's going to stay down. So we're going to roll with that. Get on all the way to the bottom because that will make the top edge look really, really straight. And then I have something to judge it by. Look at that. So cute. I was able to make all of them today. I didn't think I'd have time, and now I'm going to have to refill my gun. These are so pretty. I thought, oh man, everyone needs to know how to do these because, did I pull out the wrong one? Because they're so simple. All I did was use one die, you guys. One die. And then, well, of course, some other things, but not a whole lot of them. And if you don't have sprays, they are wonderful to have. They make things go so quick. Sprays are your friend. Always start out with 3 primary colors and then add on just the ones that you love, that you know you'll use. So, let me move this bad boy out of the way. Throw my trash on the side so we can go through the cards that we made today. Yeah. All right, we copied this card in a way. Look at that. So pretty. Looks so different, and all I did was change a couple of simple colors. We copied this one, and we did it in completely different colors with a totally different way to make the moon, but I showed you 2 ways to make the moon. A stark white moon or a dabbled watercolor moon. Very, very cool. Totally different. This one we did not do today, but if you want to know how to make the northern lights like that, I'm going to teach you that in the next video. So check us out in 2 Sundays from now, because the next Sunday I will be out of town. And then we sort of copied this one, but we changed it just a little. We have some yellow there instead of the orange. Our stars are bigger, but super fun. Different use for sprays and stuff. Really cool. So we got a lot done today, and it didn't take a whole lot of prep or anything. So within an hour, we've got, what, 3 cards made? We made 3 cards, and we die cut, and we sprayed, and we embossed, and it didn't take us that long. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you want to know how to do the Northern Lights, please check out next video. And I'm going to start getting into some streamline cards because that's becoming all the rage now. So I want to show you a couple of ideas that I have that I've done on some streamline cards. So I'm experimenting in the background. If you want to know more about what's going on here in Quality Crafts, join the Zooms. Join the Zooms. All of us that are in the Zooms talk about a lot more. We experience a lot more together. It's super fun. Don't be afraid. Turn your camera on. Turn your volume up. You can always mute yourself when you need to go to the bathroom or walk away. It's just a really fun place to hang out. 3 o'clock it is right now, which is what time I want to start that Zoom party. Please join us. We would love to have you. The description to our group is in the description box below. Quality Crafts on Facebook. Join us there to get the link. All right, so I think that is all. Any questions, comments, or concerns that you have, contact me, Wanda Bailey, or Penny Ratcliffe, and we'll see you soon, and I cannot wait to see you guys next video.